Alright, this is a video I'm making for my very first gaming PC. I did my new one first because I actually recorded the video on this PC. But this is the first one I've had. I've had it since about 95, about December of 95 when I put it together. So it's pretty old. But it actually still plays games very well. It'll even play Call of Duty 4, although I have to put all of the settings on low. But it still played very well. I think I got about 35 frames per second on Call of Duty 4 with this game. But of course, it didn't look as good as it does with my other PC. But basically, I'm going to start out with the case. The case you're looking at is made by Just4PC. It's the GAzelle for some reason. You can see down here, GAzelle. It's supposed to be a multimedia case. I got this particular case because it looked completely different than any other case I had seen online at the time. It just looks very professional. It actually looks like a G4, I think, from Apple. They ripped off a lot of stuff from it, but you know, the G4 is a very elegant looking case, and this one is no different. It's got two drive slots here, one for the DVD, one for the CD. I got two of these because at the time a lot of games didn't come out on DVD. So I could actually play all of my games on here. Therefore, I didn't have to use my DVD-ROM so much. It basically extended the life of it. Down here, I got like one of these multi-card readers, but a floppy drive altogether. Now, I don't have a floppy drive on my new computer at all. But if I needed to, you know, transfer any files or anything like that, I could always just put it in there or put it in here and through my network just transfer it to the other one. But this is a very nice case. You can hide away everything. And of course down here we have the power button, reset button. Of course we have our panels down here. Kind of hard to see. That cable that's hooked up is actually hooked up to my webcam. And of course I have an AMD Athlon 3200 plus. It was originally 2 gigs, I believe, 2 gigs, and I was able to overclock it to 2.7 gigahertz, which is pretty good, I think. You know, 700 megahertz overclock. All right, I'm going to take a look inside. You probably hear this monster right now. It's fairly loud, but it's because of the fans that I have in here. Just gonna start from the top. Right there is my power supply. Just4PC, just like the case, made by the same manufacturer. It's 550 watt power supply. It is not modular. I'll move it over so you can see the cable routing, which again isn't that great. But this is a mid-tower case, it's not that big. What you're looking at right there is, I love this thing. It's made by CoolerMaster, the GeminII II. It's a huge PC cooler, and basically you can hook 2 120 millimeter fans up to it. And it keeps it very cool. I mean, I'm getting temperatures under load of about 107 degrees. And that was when I was actually playing Call of Duty on here, Call of Duty 4. And it also keeps the motherboard cool. It actually keeps everything cool in here. It also creates a vortex so that I don't really have to put an intake fan, any intake fans like I would down here or here, or even on the door. Or even on the door of the computer case. Again, the CPU that I'm using is 3200 AMD. I love AMD, never give it up. Underneath of the CPU cooler, which is very, very hard to see, it's gonna get very loud. Right. I've got about 1.5 gigs of Kingston RAM. Only 1.5. I was gonna put 4 in, but that was before I decided to buy a new PC altogether. The hard drive, you see right there, Western Digital. This is a serial, the IDE, it's an IDE instead of a serial ATA. I got it for a very good price. And it's about 320 gigs. I think I've got about 100 of it full so far, which is pretty good. The motherboard, which is very hard to see, is the Asus A8V. Very good. A lot of people like the A8V Deluxe, but at the time I wasn't able to get hold of that, so I got hold of this one, which has an AGP slot, which is kind of a letdown. You know, I can't really upgrade past, I believe, in a 2600 XT from Visiontek. That's about all I could really do. That's basically what you're looking at right here. Again, it's an AGP card. It's an X1600XT Extreme Gamers Edition. This basically was the overclocked version of the original 1600 XT. Just underneath there, we have, I believe this is made by Vantec. These two little fans, which I have blowing on the video card, just to keep it cool. It's probably fine the way it is, but I figured, you know, it looks pretty cool, so I'll just put it in there. Basically that's it, other than my mouse. This is the mouse that I use for this particular computer instead of the G5. I can't remember the name of this. I think it's the RX-1000. It's a very cool mouse. It's small. It's actually pretty sleek and everything. Also have a keyboard. This one's very small. It's a multimedia keyboard. I use this because it's small. It's basically small and out of the way. When I want to game, I can get this out of the way. But if I'm doing research and everything, I just use this keyboard. And basically that's it. I can't think of anything else to say, so I'll just say goodbye.